We will now continue and only 30 minutes. And to my help, I have senior lecturer and researchers Bouakaz.
Hello. So, what do you want to learn today? It's Friday, and it's the last hour, and you're exhausted. And I'm not going to exhaust you, but I'm going to try to make it a lighter version of. Mostly, I do this kind of lectures in 3-4 hours, but I'm not going to spend the time here. My name is Bouakaz. I'm a researcher and in intercultural education, and I work here and mostly work with research at Stockholm University, but I do lecture here in intercultural issues. And I've been cooperating with Karina for many years. So we have our discussions in corridors, in rooms, in lunch, coffee breaks, and everywhere. Time we have been taking this issue of mentoring. And I read lastly that the title of this conference is sustainability, social sustainability. And I used mostly to talk, when I talk to my students here and I teach them, when we talk about teaching and the relation between the teacher and the student, so I tell them that the teaching is about love. And love between the teacher and the student. And mostly, if you remember yourselves, or once you were students, you went to the teacher you loved most. Isn't that true? Yeah. You went there even if you are exhausted. Even if you don't like the lesson, you go there and you do your best. And that's because you like the teacher, you like the person who's teaching as well. And I think it's the mentoring project it's not a project. It's something that we should work in order to face what we call the global challenges. And I try to talk a little bit about our global challenges. What are our global challenges? Today we have mostly, we can talk about 3 huge global challenges, and then we can discuss those global. The first one is citizenship. Who is a citizen today? And who is the citizen? Since people are moving from different countries, and in Swedish we mostly say people, människor har fötter och inga rötter. And that means that people have feet not rooted in one place. So they are moving. So we think one of the global challenges is citizenship. How are we going to define citizenship? Who is a citizen? And how are we going to form this future citizen? The second one is about multicultural education and multiculturalism. Today is a fact in the world, multiculturalism. We can't ignore it. We speak about multiculturalism and as if it has to do with immigrant people moving to another country. But multiculturalism is a fact of life and it's everywhere. It's a reality. We have to face it. And it's in every corner of this town. The third one is sustainability, which with its forms. When we talk about sustainability, not only social, we talk about the ecology, about the environment, we talk about the economics. So we talk about sustainability and in all its forms. And I think that mentoring as a project is one of the things which can make us at least meet those challenges. And especially for those, today I was in another conference, so I was running between 2 conferences today. I was in the next door in another conference about newly arrived students and learning. And can you imagine in Malmö this year, we received more than 600 newly arrived students. This is a challenge when it comes to citizenship, when it comes to how are we going to meet the requirements of the students, how are we going to give them the best education, how are we going to make them secure in life. And this is one of the things that we should discuss. How are we going to make people meet? And mentoring is one of the things which I have always admired, and I'm very normative in admiring it. So I don't criticize it, because I'm very normative when it comes to mentoring. Because I think it's one of the things that can make people meet in real situations and make people meet in order to learn and make the other learns. You learn from the other and they learn from you. I think the most important thing in our society today is the meeting the requirements of those new citizens we receive in Sweden, for instance, newly arrived students. And I heard from Karina that we had some newly arrived students here. Are there any here?
I think he left.
I left, okay. I think those students, they have their own stories, and they come to Sweden. We have at least, I said, this year, 2014, 600 newly arrived. How are we going to make those students in Malmö succeed in life, be citizens? When we talk about education, mostly we talk about three kinds of functions in education. The first function is what we call qualification. We are there to qualify students to be someone or learn something to have a job or get to have student education in the future. This is what we are for, the qualification. And the qualification today cannot only be done by teachers. It should be done by other people who help the teachers in order to qualify the students. So qualification, school today cannot stand isolated from other partners. So it's very important for school to work in order to qualify the teachers by the help of other people who are willing to give of their time, their experience, and to the future generations. And it's about long life learning as well, qualification when we talk about it. The second thing when we talk, which we often talk about in education, and one of the functions of education is socialization. Socialization, one of the functions for school is to socialize students to a certain order in order to be a citizen. And socialization cannot be done in school without the help of people like mentors coming to school in order to have another kind of willingness to take the children from a context called the school to context called the world, the society. Meeting in a park, sitting in a cafe, going to the cinema, going to the museum. This is the world, this is the society. And socialization cannot only be done only in school, because in school we often form the citizen through our documents, the curriculum, the school law, and the different conventions that Sweden has written, UN conventions, and so on and so forth. So we are in school guided from a certain kind of laws and what we call norms and values, the school's norms and values. And often that when the mentors come in and try to take those students out to socialize them and so that they can see the world outside the school as well. This is what we need in our schools. This is one of the things that we mostly, when I see those 600 students today in Malmö, I just say that it should be a law to make the children have a mentor. It's a law, it should be a law. I think it's very important that those students have someone who can help them become someone, get involved and integrated. And when we talk about integration in the society, for school integration, mostly we talk about this kind of activities. The third one, when we talk about education, it what we call subjectification. We have qualification, socialization, and subjectification. Subjectification is about how we learn the children to be democratic and critical thinkers. So we socialize them, but in the same time, we have to make them be critical thinkers as well. But this thing, the school cannot do it alone. Because the school is trying to socialize them to a special, you understand there's a contradiction between socialization and contradiction. The school trying to socialize the students to a certain order through referring to the curriculum, the school curriculum, the norms of the school and values, blah, blah, blah. and at the same time, they are trying to make those children become critical thinkers. They don't go together, do they? So the first time we try to make them citizens, and at the same time, we are trying to make them critical thinkers. I think critical thinking should be reinforced by people from outside. That's what I think. Not only the school, but outside the school, people like mentors coming inside the school and helping the school with those three functions: the qualification, and socialization, and subjectification. Do you agree with me, or don't be normative? So if you disagree, just throw your questions. I know it's Friday and I have a quarter of an hour. I can't talk for many hours, but if you have any questions, so please make it more interactive. So I don't want to be the one who has lecturing here. I just want to hear from you too. What do you think about the global challenges I have been talking about? Citizenship, multicultural education, and sustainability with all its forms, and how mentoring can help the school with the three functions of education. That's to say, qualifying the children, qualification, socialization, socializing students to a certain order, and the third one, subjectification, working with critical thinking. Do you think the school, my question is, can the school do the job itself? When I talk about school like this. Yes? 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 So when I make it, I try to make it a little more theoretical and simple. So if we talk through from this kind of qualification, socialization, subjectification, we understand the need for mentors in schools, or mentoring in schools. We understand that the school cannot itself do the job today. That's why we have many kids. I say that schools are failing the children today, because the schools are trying to isolate themselves and not trying to get help from the outside. The politicians in town like Malmö, they are not trying to make this type of mentoring as something especially for the newly arrived students, as something, as a right for them, because this is the only way for them to get into society. And at the same time, it's another way for Swedish people who are born, raised, white people here to learn how the other people have.
I have a comment. Do you think now, and when it's a lot of criticism of Swedish schools, that many politicians feel we have to focus even more about the specific with the subjects? We cannot afford to have these other outside help from mentoring programs. That's what I believe could be a risk when everybody, of course, we want our children of Sweden to learn math and Swedish, English, everything, but maybe then it becomes focused on only the books and sitting in school learning. Visa focus. Yes, because, and we, of course, we have to do something with Swedish school, but that they think mentoring is only going bowling.
Yeah, I think because it's a superficial understanding for mentoring as what's the function of mentoring. I think people, those who have this kind of perspective, they don't really know, because I'm in a position. I moved to Sweden when I was in. You want to know? I moved to Sweden in 1992, and I think when I go back to my childhood in Sweden, 1992, I was not a child, but I call it childhood, since I count my life from 1992. So it means that I'm born 1992, and you can guess how old I am. So if I go back to that age, I needed someone who could show me more of Sweden. But I have to struggle myself to learn things. I have struggled in order to get to know the society, to get to understand how the social codes, the cultural codes in Sweden, how can I behave in a certain situation. It's not only about language, it's about different cultural codes. How can a newly arrived student behave in certain situations? And when I was talking today, I was talking about what we call learned identity. That's what I was talking about today. And often when we receive newly arrived students, we don't map their way of how they acquired certain knowledge. We often are interested in how much they can in math, in physics, in biology, maybe in English, social sciences, but we never ask them, how did you learn? And that's why it's very important for people here in this country like me, who have been here for a long time, even if I am very much involved in multicultural issues, and I meet everyday people from other countries. I do research in such sites. I think I have been kind of damaged. And there's a damage because I have been so much in academia. So I don't really, I don't live in their way of life. It has been a long time for me in academia. So I need this kind of meeting every day with those people. And then meeting the people, creating those relations, enrich my life every day. I think for everyone in Sweden who gets the possibility to be a mentor, take it. Take it. I have a 10 years old daughter, and she's born in Sweden, and she says to me, why don't I have a mentor? My friend has a mentor. And she wants to have a mentor.
We all here agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm certain about that. But the difficulty is how can we influence the politicians, the sites, our school? We have a problem here.
Mariana works at one of our participating schools.
That's the difficulty we have. We all agree about that you're talking about.
Yeah.
How can we influence?
I think that is this work should be done in at different levels. At school level, especially the parents, the school, and I think there is another level here which is very important, which is how can we as researchers make more research. I think write more about mentoring, because I think we have some reports, but we have to give it more importance. I think there should be more importance for lifting up this kind of activities and try and maybe create a kind of more conferences, more seminars where it's opinion building. It's about opinion. If you want to reach a certain decision through the politicians, you have to work with politically. We are not engaged. I think Karina is not working politically, neither you work politically to make. But I think this is how can we market this in our daily with the daily politicians. We have to make maybe a political debate about mentoring.
You be the first one.
I can be the moderator. Yeah. So
Tomorrow when I open the news,
yeah.
Leigh said, "Oh, interesting. Yes, good."
I think it's about. I think it's like racism. Let's talk about racism. If the Rome, Malmö didn't have someone who had been working together with the politicians, they wouldn't have what we call an information and knowledge center. We have information and knowledge center today. The Afrophobia as well. They are working very hard to get an information center. And I think they are working more with politicians, not only making kind of activities away from politicians. And I think when the politicians become involved, they take this kind of projects seriously and try to themselves in their political parties work in order to give it more space. I think we have to make politics of this. Thank you.
For me, I have a belief that you international researchers do not develop this concept. I wish I was at the level of Madame Karina and yourself. I would have brought this concept for this European Union. Then the moment it's backed up, the entire like us in Africa, most of the concepts we are developing come from here. It's brought forward by European Union, then we adapt them either in schools or in companies. And I have a feeling that the work you are doing within Malmö University is the work for government and maybe European Union as a body. Because I have attended 2 seminars. The first one here and another one where the mentees were giving testimony. I felt that you are doing a very huge job. And there's something small still missing. You develop the concept, forward it ahead, then it's either funded or seconded, and for us in Africa down there we benefit. Because I listened to about 4 people. One is taking peace and conflict resolution. 3 of them are studying human rights. And like in my continent, Africa, the biggest problems we have was violation of human rights. So, if these young men could be pushed in Africa and sensitize us, maybe it would be better people like you guys. I wouldn't like to waste much of your time, but I do pray that you develop this concept and maybe send it to European Union so that it can be implemented.
Yeah.
Thank you.
That will be Karin's job. Yeah. I think it's very, very important that you take this another level at the European level. But I think locally we need to mobilize a certain network that is working politically. Because I don't think that this will be. There should be a political decision about that mentorship. That every child in Malmö should have a mentor.
Yes, and it's not controversial with the different parties because we have met sometimes with politicians. It doesn't matter if it's to the left or to the right. They Nightingale, fantastic, and then when the money gets distributed,
Yes, yeah.
it's a little tougher.
Yeah, that's it. Because they are not really convinced.
No.
They are not really convinced
That's
because yes, because I think it needs someone who, I think everything that should the politicians agree on. It's if there are people fighting for it and fighting every day about it and writing and making seminars and I think it's we who are going to do that, not you and you, because I think you are busy trying to work with this. But I think there should be another network outside this house working for in order to make this as a fact, as a law. Now in Sweden we have the Child Convention as a law. We're making it as a law. It's not just a Geneva Convention for child's rights. It's not just a convention. But now we are making it as a law. Why can't we can make this as a right for every child in Malmö? I think not only Sweden, not only newly arrived students. My daughter is born here and she wants a mentor because she thinks it's nice for her to meet someone else more than the parents. To talk about something else, to do something else. And I can notice that every time she goes with someone of my, when I meet some of my students out in town, she starts to talk to them and she wants to be part with that. I think every child needs to know other people in order to get another version of life. I have 3 minutes for more questions. More reflections about the day. I think we agree, as you said, that this is, because I'm normative, I said I'm very normative. I don't criticize this. I was very clear about that. And I think we have to agree that this is not in order to make society worse, but this is in order to make society better.
I'm asking for a recipe, how to develop this kind of mentorship.
I think if there are more people involved in it, Not only those who are working inside here. I think more people involved in it from outside, because as creating an association, an organization, which is called the Näktergalen, outside this, I think this association can work in order to make this kind of political opinion building. Not only here. I think outside this house should be other people who are working in order to give it more status and to talk about it more. Because if you remind people every day, they will think that this is a good thing to do. Sorry, do you have something?
Okay, that's true, but you have to lean back on some science. That's to prove it's good. This is good.
We have science. I have just told you some theories, and I can prove. I can write a huge article about the mentoring and how the school failed to socialize and qualify and subjectify the students if they don't have other actors within the school.
Yeah, that was my point too. That in order to give it more status, you should the research should be more.
Yes.
It should be more visible.
Specific.
Yeah.
And more specific.
And
in
more
this,
specific.
Yes.
Yeah.
Visible and specific in just such area. But I don't know so much if there are any researchers making research about this. But there are researchers talking about relational pedagogy, talking about that relations are very important in school, relations, students, social capital as a theory that the more you know, the more. As it's not about whom you know, it's about you know when it comes to jobs, social capital, and this is kind of social capital. What we're creating through this is we are making the children know other people and getting other networks. Because if my child knows you and you know other people and other people, so it becomes network.
What question?
Sorry.
I would like to emphasize that we need more evaluation results concerning mentoring. I think we just need to, we need this for other people who are not involved with mentoring to understand how well it works, because we all agree, we all know it works. But we have to show that it works in the long run and that it saves money. That's what like the municipalities need to know. And we at Baduntu in Germany are really working on that. And once we have results, maybe they can help you as well. Get a better foundation for more funding. Because, you know, it's nice and well to keep talking about mentoring, and we need the emotional side of it. We need to tell people, yes, we need to tell people stories, but we also need the science. We really do need the science.
Both the emotional and science completely one another. They're very important.
It's about money.
Yeah, it's all it's. Time is up. Thank you very much for having listened to me. I haven't made it in 2 hours. We should be back and keep on the good work out there.
We will continue our discussion.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay. So now it's time to say goodbye. But first, I want to say thank you to my dear friends at Nightingale, Linda, hello, and Amanda. I think give them an applause. I also want to thank all Nightingale friends from all around Europe, 21 different places, all the audience who have come and been so nice. I also want to thank the students who have participated in different workshops, students, children, refugee children, and also Mirjana. I want to say a special thank to you, because you are so engaged and you took these children to sing this morning.